Welcome to Debate Week, ladies and gentlemen. This is about booking for TNA going into 2016. One of my subscribers asked me to do this. I'm not going to try and mention his name because I botch names and I keep forgetting them. To be honest, I think his name was Clover69 or something. I don't remember. I'm sorry, dude. You know who you are. I'm sorry. If I said your wrong name, I'm so sorry. I am bad with names. I'm sorry. But let's move on here. I'm going to do a little bit of the World Title Series and the booking going into 2016 for TNA. Now, I may break this into two videos. I think I might. But let's get into the last 4 slots for the World Title Series. I'm disregarding the 16 and who's going to work in there because it really isn't the most important thing. The last 4 are the ones that should be focused on. Too many people to try and focus on, particularly that they have not been built properly. The ones I'm going to be mentioning here have barely had any build for anything. They're just wrestling. So the first person I want to talk about that would be in the final 4 would be EC3. He is the strongest heel they have. He is a 1%er, the American hardcore icon, or the hardcore American icon, either way you want it. He must be there because he held the title before. Second one will be Matt Hardy. He's the one who gave up the title, and to be honest, as I said, he'll be a great transitional champion. There's nothing wrong with him getting the title for a couple of months, holding it, and then dropping it. He gets some extra money, he gets some money for his family, and he gets what he deserves. He's never held a major promotions title. Never would get it from WWE, so TNA getting it, it's okay. Third person that would be in the World Title Series would be Awesome Kong. Yes, I would put the third person as Awesome Kong because she has the abilities to do the job, and I'll elaborate on that when she's matched up with the person I'm going to match with. The final person will be an up-and-comer who really needs to be there, and that's Eli Drake. The Master of the Universe, baby. Skeletor got nothing on him. I had to say it. I had to say Eli Drake. With that sash, he looks like either He-Man or Skeletor. You guys choose which one. It don't make a difference. It's still awesome. Now, these are the 4 people I chose. Now, I will elaborate a little bit before getting to the matches on the ones I didn't choose because I'm going to be doing something with them in the next segment of this booking going in 2016. I have a lot of stuff in my head, so I'm trying to keep it all straight. I thought of writing it all down, but then I started getting confused, so I said, you know what, it's better just to keep it in my head. Anyway, Lashley's going to be doing something in the future. Robert Roode will be doing something in the future. James Storm will be doing something in the future. I'm still kind of confused about what. Zema Ion and Manic, I believe, will be doing something in the future. And Eddie Edwards and Davey Richard will be doing something in the future. Those are the ones I may focus on if I don't forget while I'm talking. Those are the ones I want to focus on. But let's do the World Title Series and the last 4. The first match I would have done would be for Matt Hardy going against Eli Drake. And I would give that 1 week's build. I would give it 2, but the way TNA works, well, you know what? I tend to forget. Just like a lot of people. When you do these types of bookings, it's about what you want. So I would give this 2 weeks of build. No fighting one another, but essentially trying to see what's more important about these guys. Trying to promote Eli Drake. Let him have his match. Promoting Matt Hardy and what he's gone through. And letting them have good talking segments. That's what I would focus on for 2 weeks. There wouldn't be a fight. Because this isn't about a feud. This is about getting the title and who is more hungrier. They're talking more, and their matches would be the defining factor of seeing who would be the best. Because I know Eli Drake, he talks good. He has great charisma. He can work in the ring very well. And when it comes to Matt Hardy, he's good in the ring. He can talk pretty well. And as I said before, he can easily be a transitional champion for TNA. He doesn't have to hold it forever. Let him have a couple of months. Let him have the prestige of finally having a real major promotions title. The guy would never get it from other than TNA. WWE would never invest in him, not because he wasn't good enough, just because they would think him as a tag team specialist. So I think that's something entirely different. In the end, this wouldn't be about 100% getting Matt Hardy over. This would be more about 100% getting Eli Drake over. Because Matt Hardy would have been built, if it had been built properly for months ahead of time, he doesn't really need to squash Eli Drake. But he needs to get Eli Drake over because he's the next generation. And after Matt Hardy defeats him, which would be very difficult, they would have their talking segments at the very end. And this is what Matt would say. This was one hell of a match. This boy took me to the limit. He is the future. Even though he's damn arrogant and he's a lot of full of himself, he will one day get a title. For Eli Drake, he says, you see what is going on? You see that Eli Drake is the future of TNA. That I took Matt Hardy to the limit. And I can see him right over there talking about me. Hey, you're talking about me, Matt? I knew you were. Good man. This is how Eli Drake will become the master of the universe, and I will be TNA World Heavyweight Champion when my time comes. Now that's how I want Eli Drake and Matt Hardy to talk. Matt Hardy doesn't have to be worried about getting himself over, because if things had been built properly beforehand, which I'm not going to elaborate on, there's a lot to do to try and make Matt look better. But if he had been, he wouldn't need to get over. He would need to get Eli Drake over, because eventually Eli Drake would be in the main title scene, eventually next year. Now, I know you're wondering, are we actually going there with Awesome Kong and EC3? Yes, we are. Awesome Kong and EC3 in the ring. Before they actually have their match, when they find out the same thing between Matt and Eli Drake, 2 weeks would pass. And Awesome Kong would, well, how can I say this? When EC3 has his little promos in the ring, Awesome Kong would come out and just look at him, hungry. Not to sleep with him, but to kick his ass. And let's say that EC3 kind of plays on that, saying, oh, I know you're one hell of a good-looking woman, Kong. You're a little big for my size, and I don't normally go with a woman with dreads in her hair, but you're not bad looking. When this is all over, you only thing you have to do is just lay on the floor, and I will more than happily date you afterward. This could easily be something entirely different. Of course, it's cliche and it's sexist, but who says that you can't play off of that? And then, as he's trying to find a way to trick Kong into going with this, I would rather have 4 weeks with this than 2 weeks. But I'm thinking about the constraints of trying to make the World Title Series relevant. But if I had to, I would make it 4 weeks stretched out. 1 month with her and him. And eventually, as he's trying to trick her into it, she kicks his ass. She literally punches him. She doesn't smack him. She punches him. And when Tyrus comes in the ring, she slaps the spit out of Tyrus. And he's surprised. And she walks away. And it doesn't matter if she's dressed in a dress or if she's in a ring attire. When it comes to Awesome Kong, she's a big enough of a woman. It doesn't matter what she wears. She can get away with it. And then when it comes to the ring, when they finally have the match, as Awesome Kong walks down to the ring, all more dangerous than anything, as she's the female cock diesel of a, well, I would say like a big boss man. She has those movesets. She has that ability like a big boss man. When she comes up to Tyrus before she goes in the ring, she punches the hell out of that man. And he falls to the ground shocked like, oh damn, this broad actually punched me. And she walks into the ring. He does not act like he can beat her ass. He just leaves it like, okay, badass, I'm not going to touch you. She gets in the ring and they do the work. They do the work. This is about Awesome Kong getting EC3 over. But it does not mean EC3 has to win that match. Because as much as I love EC3, as much as I love to see the 1%er go into the main title picture, I would let him lose here. But he would get great credibility because he went off against a very seasoned veteran in Awesome Kong. Look, she's been through the WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA. She's been to the most important and relevant women's wrestling promotions that are there. I know Shine is a pretty good promotion, even though I have not checked it out for quite a while. She's not someone that they book small to. She's a big booking deal. So her going against Matt Hardy would actually be a very unusual match. A woman who has incredible size going against a man who is known as a tag team specialist and a former heavyweight champion. And in the end, because of her size, because of her skills, and because she is so different than anyone who's ever had the title before her, she will become world heavyweight champion. And I know a lot of people are saying, are you serious? Putting Awesome Kong as world heavyweight champion? Yes. And I may actually use that as the title. Maybe. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I might use her picture as a thumbnail. But essentially speaking, having Awesome Kong as world champion will give a huge shift in the paradigm of wrestling. When have you heard a woman being a world heavyweight champion of a major promotion? For that matter, a black woman. When Lashley managed to win the world title for from the TNA, you wonder, why didn't WWE go with him? Because even though he doesn't talk well, you can always get him a manager. He looks good. He works well in the ring. He knows what to do. But the WWE never did anything more than let him have the ECW championship. The most lowest tier championship. They never went anywhere with him. Oh, they let him go up against John Cena and they squashed his ass. But then what happened to him? He eventually left WWE, went to MMA. And then he finally came back to TNA because he was there at one point. So having a woman, not a small woman, a large, strong woman who has many credentials of her skills, of her size, of her strength, should be championed and going from here. But I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to do the rest of the booking for her and everybody else. So I hope you like this debate of the week. Please give me a comment below. And I'm probably going to get an Awesome Kong thumbnail. I'm going to stick it on there saying TNA's booking for 2016. And I'm going to stick Kong's picture on there and see what people are going to say. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace!